The best 3-stack pred in Apex Legends.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. I'm going golfing here today down in Orlando, so can't wait for that. And also just want to say sorry for the music being a little too loud in last video. I told the editor to turn a little bit down on this one, so it should all be good to go now. But man, do we have some big news to talk about today. EA finally deciding to sell. We're pretty sure exactly who they're going to be selling to, and will they actually be making any big changes? All of that and so much more in today's video. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new as always. And without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So the first thing that I wanted to mention here, this was actually a great conversation of discussion that happened after Crowrindo made this post, and I'm not sure if he custom made these new finishers in Apex, or if he was taking like animation files from other games and just trying to import them into the Apex and working on them, or like, you know, what this is coming from, where this is coming from. But I do want to say that this is absolutely insane. These new finishers look super sick, and I would love to see some of these new finishers in Apex Legends. And another good comment here was saying that new finishers are better and probably more important or more beneficial and look better than the new ground emotes. And I thought this was a great conversation to have, because I feel like they've been adding so many new ground emotes and like the battle passes and stuff, and I really would like to see more finishers instead of new ground emotes, because I'm pretty sure obviously they're taking almost equal amount of work here. I mean, on one hand, the finishers take 2 legends to animate, but like they also are probably like half the time of ground emotes. So I personally would love to see some more finishers that you could get instead of just simple ground emotes that you can do in game. But I'm very interested to see what you guys think on that as well. I mean, you can't look at this and tell me it's not sick. It'd be really nice to be able to get some more finishers in Apex packs. And speaking of Apex packs, some people are actually a little concerned that the Apex packs might be changing. This coming after the new rumor that was just leaked out today by Alpha Intel, saying this, that the rumor is that EA is set to be acquired by Amazon, with an announcement coming today. Now, for whatever reason, Alpha Intel has decided to delete this tweet just about 30 minutes after making it. And thanks to time travel, you didn't have to listen to the next 8 minutes of talking that I just did, because I just found out after I recorded this entire video that I know the reason now why they deleted that tweet is because it came out with another tweet saying that the update is, according to CNBC, Amazon is not actually in fact bidding to acquire EA. Contrary to previous reports, they said EA stock has surged after the report of Swedish agency GLHF, but CNBC sources say that it is not true and that nothing is actually happening. I'm very interested to see what they actually mean by this, saying nothing is actually happening, because we do know that EA has been looking to sell for quite some time. They've been in the talks with Disney, they've been in the talks with obviously Amazon themselves, and I think a couple others as well. But I can't imagine a world where nothing is actually happening, because I can't imagine where EA has just decided to stop looking for people to buy. However, if EA was to sell out to somebody, I really hope that whoever would come in would maybe be a little bit less shady when it comes to the Apex packs and the Apex Legends store bundle. I've always been under the impression that whoever owns the game, like EA, has been like the head honcho of monetization in the game. Maybe they're the ones who like control the prices, maybe they're the ones who like control what is being sold, how much is being sold, maybe have a little bit of say so in like the events and stuff that go on. I'm not exactly sure. That's just what I've always heard. So when it comes to the world of monetization in this game, I would really like to see a lot less of the bull crap of them showing like skins being on discount, maybe like, oh look, you can buy this skin for like 3,600, or buy this bundle for 3,600 because it's worth like 5,000 or so, but yet they just sold that exact bundle like a month ago for like 2,400, and they're trying to tell you that you're getting some kind of a discount. Or also I've seen in the past where they said like, look, this thing is worth 5,000 and it's currently on discount right now for 3,600, but then like in the next week or so they'll try to sell it again and say, hey, this stuff is now worth 3,600, it's on sale for 2,400. So like, who's actually the appraiser here? Who's appraising the value of what this stuff is worth? Because you're giving the voice crack. Oh my gosh, that was bad. Should I leave it in? Because someone said that I'm not. Oh my gosh. Someone said I haven't had a voice crack in a while, so I guess I'll just leave it in. I mean, gosh, that's embarrassing. You're probably not going to take me seriously for the rest of the video, but anyhow, I mean, like, who's actually the one appraising the value of the stuff here? I think it's very misleading whenever you're telling a viewer or a fan or someone who's playing your game that, like, hey, this stuff is worth this much, so you need to buy it because you're saving this amount of money. And even though that's not true, or a lot of that times it's not true. Now, some people have contributed this to being a bug, but yeah, if it is a bug, why are you not eager to fix it? Because you know a lot of people are buying into this facade of something being on sale when it's really not that much on sale. I would also like to see some less shadiness and more transparency when it comes to the items and skins that can return back in the future, because we had that huge discussion, I think about a month ago or so, where I was revisiting a video or a topic from over a year ago in which Respawn was constantly returning items that they said were event exclusive. That meaning that it would never ever return back to the store in the future. They did this with the R99 skin for Iron Crown Collection event. They did it with the War Machine Pathfinder skin, where they said that these things would never be returning returning again in the future, and they brought them back anyways, where you could still buy them in a store like many months after. And I just think this is like super shady to be doing this stuff and breaking your promises. Now, they also had a different definition that was event limited, meaning that it could come back at a future event. So I'm cool with that. I mean, that's transparency, that's being honest. But a lot of the things that were event exclusive that should never come back ever again did come back, and they did resell those things. A lot of the things in the battle passes as well did come back. Now, they have come out since then and said, look, hey, we are going to be bringing stuff back now from the battle passes, and that's fine. If you want to make a new rule, hey, starting from today we're going to start doing this, that's fine. But don't go back on a promise that was already made in the past. That's super shady to me. I'm not really sure if EA had anything to do with that, or if that's just strictly Respawn. Like I said, I've always been under the impression that EA has a little bit more say so in the monetization of the game, and maybe they do have a little bit to say on that. But I'm not really mad about stuff coming back. I just want you to be transparent. I just want it to be honest. And so honestly, if they are having a new dev team now at Apex Legends, and maybe people are contributing it to the fact that, hey, the devs are not the same anymore, maybe it's fine to bring this stuff back. Just be honest, just be transparent about what is coming back, because a lot of people like to spend money when they feel like they're about to be able to buy skins that one day will be OG. So at the beginning of the game, you were telling people, hey, this is event exclusive, people will never ever be able to buy this again. Therefore, people were like, okay, maybe I should go ahead and spend it now because I'll never have this chance again. And they thought maybe within 2 years from now they'll have this OG Apex account. Well, now you've lied to them, and now they've spent money in a situation where maybe they would not have spent money if they knew that these things were coming back into the store. That just feels very wrong. I mean, you're tricking people into buying now because you'll never get this chance again. I don't know. Like I said, though, we now know that maybe the dev team is a little bit different for Apex Legends, and that's why maybe they've decided to change the rules. But if that is the case, you could also argue the fact that solos is not out of the realm of possibility in Apex Legends, because the dev team that said it's never coming back is a totally different dev team of what we have now. A lot of those OG developers that have been in the game for so long have left and now gone on to their new companies. And also wanted to talk about that today, because Drew McCoy, we also talked about it in yesterday's video, where Chad Grenier, Jason McCord, all these guys were in like a future like meeting for maybe a new game studio or something. Well, Drew McCoy, who's actually left back in 2019 for Apex Legends, who started his own company called Gravity Well, he retweeted this a couple of days ago saying, I could have written this thread almost verbatim back in 2019. Just for context, he was working on Apex Legends back in 2019. He said, I have extreme burnout and indescribable in its misery. He also said, I'm still dealing with lingering mental and physical health effects of it today. The experience is a primary motivator of how Gravity Well is set up and run. So like, I know, understand, like, I'm not trying to look too deep into this, but is he like subconsciously calling out Respawn for not like setting their employees up in a way where they can be mentally okay, physically okay? So I'm not trying to look too far into this and saying like, oh look, Respawn treats their employees bad, that's why all these OG developers left. Because I know at one point, you know, we had a lot of Respawn employees saying like, why is everybody under the impression that just because people leave that something's going on at Respawn, that something's wrong, that something's happened? That's not always the case. People just like to move on, and I totally agree. Maybe do people like just like simply move on, and that's all there is to it. But it is hard to also ignore the fact that you have tons of OG developers, tons of developers in general, who decided to leave roughly around the same time. Like obviously Jason McCord left the same time that Chad Grenier left, the same time that Muhammad guy left. So there were so many other people that left like right at the same time. It was very, very weird, and that happens always in bunches. So is this obviously one of the reasons because Respawn was not treating their employees the way they should be? Have things gotten better over time? Maybe is this why people are going to go start their own companies, because they felt like they weren't being listened to? I don't know, but it is a good conversation to have. It's something that's definitely in the realm of possibilities when it comes to maybe like people just weren't happy at Respawn. But if you guys had one specific company to sell EA to, who would it be and why? Because honestly, I don't really think there's going to be a massive change in Apex Legends whenever someone acquires EA, because I also don't really think that these things happen like overnight. I think they take like a couple years to actually happen. We saw Activision actually bought out by Xbox, and so it's one of those things where they're not actually getting it though until 2024, so you're not really seeing anything like overnight happening. But I'm very interested to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you're new as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you all so much for subscribing to the channel too. We're almost at 90,000 subscribers, so there's no better time to hit that fat juicy red button. Thank you all so much for watching. It's Vibe or Die, only positivity. Take care of yourselves, and until the next time, I'll see you later, Gators.